Hi, welcome back. It's finished. Burton 1, Sheffield United 2. Certainly a different game from what we've been watching in the last couple of games, wasn't it? Definitely a poor Blades performance, certainly from the first half, wasn't it? And Burton did their own work and they got stuck into us. It was quite aggressive at times. Some tasty tackles going in. But fair play to Burton, and they closed down the spaces and they made it very difficult for us, which what we need, isn't it? When these pre-season friendlies to test us out, see where we are, and not forgetting what these games are for, to get miles into players' legs and to do things differently tactically, changing personnel around and getting everybody ready for the start of the season. However, definitely it was a poor performance the first half from the Blades. Interesting team. I thought if you look at it, we'll put the Cooper rumours to bed straight away because it could be in meltdown, won't it? Nothing's happening. He's just got a slight knee injury and he's giving him a chance to play the other goalkeepers as well. So there's no transfer news on Michael Cooper. Whatever you're reading is total nonsense. So it just we'll put that to bed straight away from the outset. Interestingly, arguably, if you look at it, look who started the first 45 minutes. Suriki, Minden, Robbo and Burrows, the back four. Would you argue we're starting with that? Would you play Anel? What we could consider a strong midfield. Played all the big hitters like Brooksy, O'Hare, Peck and Hamer, and up front Campbell and Ryan O'Neill. And you got to, at this conjuncture, you got to say that Ryan O'Neill deserves to be starting. He's on fire at minute. He should start where he's playing. He's doing himself no harm whatsoever before the beginning of the season, and he's certainly going to be in the forefront of Ruben Sayers' thoughts for the start of the season. Louis Barry's moved in, as we know, as well as Mihail Pelendikov. So they're the two new signings, and there's one more to come in. We know who that is. I think Debril Samari, he should be joining us in the next 2 or 3 days, if not before. But going back to the game, what was Hamer doing with the goal? I mean, if you're doing basics, I mean, why would you run across the area, the 6-yard box, with the ball at your feet? I mean, that's the first thing, you know, and he thought he got fouled. It looked as if he got clipped. He stopped. You can't stop. You got to wait for the referee's whistle if he's gonna give you a foul. The ball didn't go out to the play, which he thought it might have been for the corner anyway. But all fair to the Burton players, they just carried on, passed it across the box and put it away. So what do you expect? You know, it was a very poor goal and poor work from Gus, unfortunately. So hopefully he'll probably learn from that. But, you know, we'll forgive him because I suppose it's a friendly. If it had been on a Saturday against Bristol or Friday against Bristol City, we wouldn't be very happy, would we? But anyway, you know, positives, I suppose, from the first half. I thought Minden did well. I think we've signed definitely at this conjuncture a quality player at centre back. He looks a player, doesn't he? So it could be interesting to see how he gets on in the season. I thought Brooks did okay down the right. Certainly O'Neill did himself no harm at all. Pecky put himself about, didn't he? Made some 1 or 2 good turns. So out of the poor first half, really, we'll give them a bit of credit. We expected changes at half time. We didn't get any, albeit Jack Robinson went off with an injury right on half time, and Anel came on. In the second half, it was about 70 minutes before Ruben Sayers made the wholesale changes, all 10 players coming off and all the rest coming on. Sassanukas, Owen Hampson and Akaki. Now, Akaki, he's interesting, that right winger. He doesn't look a big guy, but he can certainly shift down that right-hand side. He looks an interesting prospect. It's one to keep an eye on for the new season. He can certainly get down the wing and get crosses in. So he'll be a good addition if he progresses during the season. Kiefer Moore came on and we finished it at the death with the last kick of the match. A bit fortuitous to score, but we'll take it, don't we? We'll score however we can score, and we finished up on the right side of the result, winning 2-1. I put Ruben Sayers' interview on the end of this, but he understands it. We get it. You don't. It's a different test last night, Burton. We're going to get teams who are going to make it difficult for us, and that's what we want at this conjuncture. We need teams to test us out pre-season so we can change things around. And how are we going to react when we're not playing well? There was a lull in the play in the first half where he got the team together. It seems to be the thing these days, doesn't it? Where somebody goes down injured, so everybody comes off for a drink and stops the game, and everybody starts talking about how we want to play and tactics, which wasn't a bad thing, to be fair, last night. So he managed to get things sorted out because definitely wasn't playing well. We missed numerous chances in the second half. I must have a word for Amissa, Burton goalkeeper, a former Blade, of course. He pulled off some terrific saves to keep the score down. We did take control of it a little bit in the second half, but it wasn't great. I mean, it's going to be one of them games, isn't it, where we know we can't play to that intensity all the time, even though Ruben says, well, that's how we want to play. Hopefully, Louis Barry will get a run out on Saturday. We'll see what he's made of when he turns up. The one more signing to probably come in before, like I just said early on, 3 or 4 days' time. So we've having a busy week, aren't we? We've from the Rotherham and the signings and game last night. Hopefully, I'm going to get another game tomorrow night. Watch the women's team at Sheffield FC. They've got a friendly. I might pop down there and have a look at them, see how they shaping up for the new season. And then we're off to Chesterfield on Saturday for the final pre-season game. I think there's one more after that penciled in somewhere, but I think it's about August 2nd. I believe it's in Austria. So I don't know what the details are. So if anybody wants to go out of Austria, I don't know what the travel arrangements will be for that just now. So we're having a busy week. Thank you for joining me. I really appreciate it. Please put your comments in below. Let me know what you think about the game last night. It's a different one to the last 2 games, but it's another win, isn't it? You can't do any more than beat what's in front of you, of course. And we move on to Chesterfield on Saturday. So thanks for watching. Really appreciate it as always. And I'll speak to you hopefully either before or after the Chesterfield game. Up the Blades. Speak to you soon.
First of all, then victory here at Burton in the end. What did you take from that performance?
Well, we say it's a pre-season. You always want to win, but some games are different than the others. We didn't start the game well at all, and the performance in the first 30-35 minutes was not according where we are, and we all agree on that. And I think the best thing from the day was the reaction of the team, the way that we want to do things. And after those first 30-35 minutes, to see the team just making the things that we want to make, competing, and in the end we equalized pretty quick in the second half, and then at the end that goal, it's just a little bit better to get those difficult days with a victory.
What did that first 35 minutes perhaps teach you? Why do you think it happened?
Well, I think the opposition was ready to come and press us from the very beginning. It didn't give us spaces. We were not ready to just start to find our combinations or the spaces that we wanted. And we were not compact in our pressure or counter pressure. Then they found the solutions really well. And we will always want to stay behind the opposition. But I think, as I say, that it's going to happen at some point in the pre-season. It's not going to be everything perfect. And I think we sorted out and we start to get into the game. We start to get chances, we start to get situations. And then I think after those first 30-35, we were in top of the game.
Jack Robinson left the field just before half-time. What happened there?
Well, he has been feeling some discomfort in his feet, and he fell at the end. So it's just a pre-season game. We will need to address tomorrow and see what's the next move.
Nothing serious then, you think?
No, I hope it's nothing serious. I think it's more an overload in the area than anything.
Michael Cooper sat the game out again, second game running. What's going on there?
Well, as we say for Michael Cooper, the last game was probably a decision from me just to give all the time for the other goalkeepers. Today he felt a bit discomfort in the knee, but he should be back in a couple of days.
Because I'm sure you'll know at this time of the year when top players don't play games, everyone thinks it's for transfer reasons. Have you been given any kind of assurances that he's one of the ones that's definitely staying?
Well, he's definitely staying. It's not about that, and yeah, I understand the concerns because the people is not there day by day. But no, it's nothing related with that.
You have been active in the market, and Barry now signed and over the line. Obviously, a player you know from Hull. Why him? What does he bring to the group?
Well, we need to continue building up that intensity and threat in the final third, and I think Louis has been proving that he can do that. Unfortunately, he got injured with us in Hull last season, and I think with those 10-15 games he will prove his abilities, and that's why we think he can come to us and then be a key player in that winger position with his one-against-one situations, intensity in the pressure, finishing action, etc.
Because if he does start to fly, I mean, he's got an excellent goal record as well.
Yeah, he's a player that is capable to create situations and a player that is more than capable to compete in the level, so we expect big things from him.
It must have been quite the disappointment to have brought him in and then so early in his whole career for him to get injured, then you can't have a proper look at him at the championship level.
Yeah, because when we brought him, he was one of the ones that was ready to give us the goals that we lack in that moment, and to have him out of the team was a big loss for us. So, but yeah, everything is a process, as I say. We learn from it. We learn that Louis is a very competent player in the level, and then hopefully he can stay healthy and can play a lot of games for us.
When you spoke to us on Saturday, you were hopeful of 2 signings, so that's one. So, is there a second one this week imminent?
Well, hopefully it is. We are working on it as we have been active in the market, and we know exactly the kind of player that we want. And hopefully in the next 4 or 5 days, even less, we can announce something.
The name Jibril Samare has been widely reported. Is he a player that you are interested in?
Well, we are looking for a player in that position as a 6, and then Jibril has been there. The name of Jibril has been there. We analyse him, and I think he's a player that can suit our style. Yes.
Because I'm sure you're very keen to add to the midfield group, aren't you? Given injuries and departures already.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when Bini left us, we needed that kind of number 6 that can be a little bit more physical, athletic in that profile, and I think looking at the market there were some good options, and hopefully we can close one of them really quick.
At the Pirelli Stadium, a long clearance downfield has got Burton an opportunity here, and cleared away just in the nick of time there by Tyler Binden. Done well to get Webster on halfway, and now they flip forward down the left-hand side. Nice ball into McKinnon, right across goal. He just needed a touch. Beasley couldn't get there. Plenty of snaps so far in this Burton performance. Well, Harmer's just stopped there after he was challenged, and that's going to lead to a goal for Beasley. Bit of a nightmare for Gus Harmer there. He ran across the penalty area, was challenged, but I think just lost concentration. The ball had not gone out of play, and it was turned back for Beasley, who had a simple finish, and it's Burton who take the lead. Chance for a counter here for United is Campbell holds it up, finds Peck, into O'Hare, on to Harmer. Nicely done. Has he got the legs to get to One? It has. One still going onto his left side, and we saw how he shifted it right to left and left to right in the first 2 friendlies. Used to play for Barnsley too. Shot from distance, it's spilled by a misser. Plenty behind that from Brooks. Almost caught out the Burton goalkeeper. Harmer. Now Brooks. One. In from Burrows, that's Callum O'Hare with a glancing header. That was inches wide. Colin Malife in behind. It's a lovely pass. Colin Malife unselfishly tees up Beasley. What an opportunity. And he's put it over the bar. Peck on to Burrows. That was nicely done back into Peck again. And only on towards Burrows, who's got there, Harrison Burrows, and that was Campbell at the near post. Slick into play from United. There's the half-time whistle. Burton Albion 1, Sheffield United 0, and Burton affects the Brewers because they were good in the first 45. Peck under pressure from Newell. It was maybe cobbled in the face there. Play continues. Andre Brooks. Strong run, a little deflection might help United here. That's a fine save from Amissa. Palmer's corner tipped away by Amissa. Then it goes from Peck. Right coming for O'Hare. Great first touch. Campbell and One. Fine finish on Ryan One. Continues his excellent run of form in front of goal in pre-season. Maybe a slight bit of fortune how the ball came to him. But a terrific finish. And the Blades are back on terms. So good start to the second half from a United perspective. Brooks winning this one. I think the last touch was off a Burton jersey. It came off Jason Sraha. O'Hare calling for support. He's got it through. Tyrese Campbell, fine save from Amissa. One. And a really good block. Thought One might have taken it first time, but that's two really important saves United have it and keep for more. Caceres and Marsh. Fine save from Dudek down to his left-hand side. Giving away there, straight to Kiefer Moore. Caceres is calling for it down the centre. Moore feeds it into the path of Curtis. His drill cross is headed clear, he might get another chance. Moore. McCallum looking to pick out Marsh. Marsh gets a bit of luck here. Louis Marsh to try and win it. So it comes back off the keeper. And Kiefer Moore's on hand with a